Stop looking for your purpose. There is one fundamental and universal purpose, and that is evolution. It has been conditioned inside of our minds through our natural desire for progress, value, and our fear of suffering and entropy. It's in our instinct. You create progress, become valuable, avoid suffering, and reverse entropy by solving problems. This is why the most effective problem solvers are also the most rewarded individuals in our world. Happiness is not an equation that can be solved. It can only be experienced when you align yourself with the laws of the universe, and the law of evolution is one of them. Become a master at problem solving and you will be rewarded with an abundance of health, wealth, relationships, and happiness by the natural algorithm of life. My name is Danny Banchev. I'm the founder of the Off Point Academy, and today I will share with you the one skill you need that will set you up for success literally forever. Now, it might sound like an exaggeration, but I'm not the one who came up with it. It's literally the laws of the universe. So the next few minutes will be separated into 3 different sections. The first one is the backup story, so how I came up with that lesson, how I discovered it. The second section is how it changed my life and how it can serve you. The third section is the action steps you can take today to make it a reality in your own life. Knowledge is nothing without action. That's why I always include action steps that can literally transform your life at the end of every single video. All right, so let's rewind back to September 2021. I just enrolled into my second college program. Most of the classes are boring, but one of them is philosophy. And although everybody kept on ranting about how boring it was and how it was the most horrible class ever, I couldn't get enough of it. Like, while people were literally falling asleep next to me, I was immersed into the teachings. 3 hours felt as if it was 30 minutes. That's when, for the first time ever in more than 5 years, I fell in love with reading. For the next 10 months, from September 2021 to June 2022, I dove deep into the world of philosophy, personal development. Like, there was a library right besides the college. I was always there, bro. I was devouring the books. For months in a row, I kept on looking for answers. I was hungry for them. The Notes app on my phone was filled with life theories and hundreds of quotes while I was struggling to find meaning in life. Long story short, in July 2022, I come across one book. Actually, wait. Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And literally in the first chapters, I came across this one passage that changed my life forever. This is what it said. What is this force that is controlling you even now and will continue to do so for the rest of your life? Pain and pleasure. Everything you and I do, we do either out of our need to avoid pain or our desire to gain pleasure. That's when my mind went, ooh. And in this moment is when my life changed forever. Like, all of this time, the answer I was looking for was right in front of my eyes. Yet it was so simple that my mind couldn't even conceive it. And so over the few years after this discovery, I've managed to somehow discover my own life philosophy that is, in my opinion, the closest pointer to the truth as far as words can help. Because remember, words are never the truth. Like, they only point to the truth. So I'm gonna just share with you my 3 core philosophies in life, and then you'll understand what the big lesson is out of that. Number 1, we are all one. Like, on the level of quantum energy, there is no separation. Number 2, we somehow exist here and now, but the real reason behind our existence will never be able to be grasped by the mind because it cannot be conceptualized. It can only be experienced from a place of inner stillness. I call it the realm of being. 99.9% of people will never consciously experience this realm. That's why most people are focused on point number 3, which is also the most important. As long as we want to keep experiencing life as human beings on this planet, we must play the game by the laws of the universe. And the more aligned you are with these laws, the more enjoyable your life experience will be. That is what I call the realm of doing. This is where 99.9% of global human attention goes. So if point number 1 and 2 piqued your interest or resonated somehow with truth for you, I suggest you read, The Power of Now. This is the greatest spiritual book I've ever encountered. Like, it completely set me free internally. Like, my life, I can separate it from before reading this book and after. I 100% suggest. But anyway, since most of you would only truly benefit from point number 3, that's the one we're gonna focus on. There are many fascinating laws in the universe you can align yourself with, like the law of entropy or the law of attraction. But today I wanna focus on the law of evolution. I already mentioned it, but it's worth repeating. The one fundamental purpose in life is evolution. It is deeply rooted in our instincts to seek progress and value and to avoid suffering and entropy. By solving problems, we create progress, we become valuable, and we avoid chaos. This is why the most effective problem solvers are also the most rewarded individuals in life. Now, happiness isn't a problem to be solved, but a state to be experienced when you're in alignment with the laws of the universe. So master the art of problem solving and you will naturally attract health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. Problem solving is the key. This is the one skill you clicked on the video to discover. So let me share with you right now the action steps you can take today to become a master at problem solving. Step number 1, awareness. If you are not aware of a problem, you cannot solve it. And even if you try to, you won't notice if your solution is working or not without awareness. Might sound obvious, but most people spend their lives without ever consciously thinking about problems they could solve. They either complain, deny, or suppress. So here's how you actually develop awareness. Practice mindfulness regularly. Schedule 15 to 30 minutes after a habit you already practice automatically, like brushing your teeth or taking a shower or whatever. If you take walks in the morning, do it right after, where you sit down in silence and you observe your thoughts, feelings, emotions that come and go. In a radically accepting way, you watch what's happening inside of you. You don't try to control, you just observe it. Be patient with this practice. Do it long enough and your levels of awareness will skyrocket. All right, step number 2 to become a master at problem solving. Faithful action. If you don't believe that the problem is solvable and that it can be solved by you, you won't even try. Faith and fear both demand believing in something you cannot see. You choose. That's a quote by Bob Proctor. Shout out to the man. So how do you develop faithful action? Step number 1, double down on self-education. Consume inspiring content like books, podcasts, documentaries, from successful problem solvers that expand your vision of what's possible. And step number 2 is you create momentum by setting small but challenging goals, actually achieving them, and keeping track of your wins. This will get you into action and increase your faith that you can actually solve problems. Step number 3 to becoming a professional problem solver is commitment and consistency. If you're not committed enough to try again when it's not working, and if you're not consistent enough to do that until it works, you won't solve any problems. Remember, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So how do you do that? Number 1, don't rely on willpower. Make it automatic. Master the science of systematic habits. For that, I suggest you read a book. Atomic Habits. Absolute classic. If you've already read it, reread it again. All right, step number 2, cut your cheap dopamine consumption by at least 95%. This hormone is responsible for all of your motivation to take action. In a famous study, scientists find out that rats that were given the option to self-stimulate dopamine would do so relentlessly, even more than looking for food and water. They would click on this dopamine button until they died. Don't think you're any better than these rats when you're jerking off to porn every single day. I'm not saying you need to become a monk, just make your life easier. Be kind to your brain a little bit. So drastically reduce porn, sugar, fast food, social media, Netflix, alcohol, smoking, drugs, if you take any, and video games, let's say. And I'm not gonna lie, it will absolutely suck in the beginning, and that's okay. You can be trendy and call it your dopamine detox journey. That might make it suck less. All right, the third thing you can do is create some sort of accountability. You can do that by setting a deadline and making it public. For example, you post in your Instagram stories, hey guys, I have a new YouTube channel. I'm gonna post 3 videos per week, every single week. Your natural fear of disappointing people will push you to keep your promise. You can also leverage that same fear by joining an accountability group like the Off-Porn Academy. The link is in the description. And last but not least, the 4th step you need to take to become a master at problem solving is innovative courage. If you don't fully tap into your creative and intuitive power, You'll never break past the ceiling of the known. This means you will solve common problems with common solutions. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, but you will be rewarded accordingly. By definition, in order to be outstanding, you must stand out. Exploring the unknown will feel scary at first, but courage doesn't mean there's no fear. Courage means taking action in spite of fear. So here are 2 ways you can build that innovative courage. Number 1, build an undeniable stack of proof that you're already a problem solver. Take your notes app on your phone or like a piece of paper and note down every single problem you have already solved in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. Do not underestimate the power of this exercise. Note down every single one of them from the smallest to the biggest. The second thing you can do is actually implement a daily habit where you note down 3 wins of your past. It can be in the same day or the past week or the past month, every single day before going to sleep. Those 2 things will automatically condition your brain to perceive you as a problem solver, and higher courage to innovate will naturally be born out of this new identity. All right, that was all for me today. Hopefully you found this video valuable enough. By the way, what I just described is one of the 3 lessons in my newsletter this week. It drops today. If you prefer learning by reading, you can check it out. The link is in the description. Otherwise, if you actually do prefer learning by video, you can just subscribe to this channel. Every single week I post 3 weeks. It's the 3 lessons of my newsletter. Pretty much the same content. I have other stuff there if you're interested. But with that being said, much love to y'all. Super grateful for you. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.